Hey everyone, William here from 222 Productions, and this is going to be an interesting one. So, we've reached the end. This is it. This is the season finale of American Ninja Warrior Season 9, which features Stage 2, Stage 3, and the final stage. Now, normally, during the regular season, I'd say that I'm going to do this in 20 minutes or less and ultimately fail, more times than not. But for Vegas, I've been like, oh, yeah, no, it's no time limit. But going into this final episode, I almost feel like I actually could hit 20 minutes or less. I'm not going to try to, but I don't know what to say. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to let you all know what I think of the season finale of American Ninja Warrior. Starting now. So, you know what? It's kind of hard to really comment on Stage 2. And I'm trying to think about, why am I having a hard time thinking of things to say. And it sort of hit me that it's really hard to comment on Stage 2 when A&W won't let you watch Stage 2. 41 people took on this course. Do you know how many runs we actually saw? How many full runs we saw in this episode? 10. Plus one run that started mid-progress. So 10 and a half runs of 41. That's about 25%. And almost everything else was shown in fast-forward segments. And honestly, you don't get a real feel for how people do on the course if you just fast forward through all of them. And in fact, there was 5 runs that weren't even shown at all in the episode. There was 2 that were shown on YouTube in the form of JJ Woods and Kevin Bull. So, after featuring JJ Woods a good amount during the Stage 1, they don't bother showing him in Stage 2 at all on the actual TV show. And then 3 people just outright weren't shown. In fact, I'm going to bring them up right here. So, Matt Salinzi failed the giant ring swing, Cass Clausen failed the wave runner, and Matthew Ilgenfritz failed the wingnut alley. So I just want to give them their dues ahead of time because they deserve it. And I actually looked it up. They had their runs completely skipped during Stage 1 also. So they made it all the way to Stage 2, don't get feature. That's got to suck. That's really got to suck. So, after Vegas aired, after the season finale aired on television, I actually saw Matt Eisman do a little Facebook Live sort of thing, a little live stream on Facebook. And one thing he mentioned is that, unfortunately, we can't get everyone in the episode. And here's the thing. If you want to be able to get everyone on the episode, you know what's a good step to doing that? Not making your time limit 4 minutes. Yeah, when I found out that the time limit was going to be 4 minutes for this stage, I just shook my head. It's absurdly long. That is absurdly long. Really thought this was a good idea. And, okay. I don't want to compare A&W to Sasuke, because A&W does his own thing. But Sasuke has been guilty of this lately, too, is that one of the reasons that I have said in the past that Stage 2 is my favorite stage is because it is a speed course. It is fast-paced, it is no nonsense, and it is supposed to be a stage where you just go. You go in between obstacles. There's no time to think. During this stage, I just kept getting more and more frustrated. I wasn't angry. I wasn't sad. I was frustrated and disappointing because I know A&W is capable of better. And for some reason, stage 2 is the stage they have like the lowest success rate on in terms of designing your course. But I'm frustrated because for several reasons. One of them is the fault of a lot of the competitors. A lot of competitors, they kind of pointed to, they did stuff like pointing to the crowd, waving at fans and stuff in the middle of this timed course. And I'm just like, no, guys, you gotta go. Like if you've been following these videos, I don't like it when people do stuff in between obstacles, like a little celebration or pointing to the audience or anything like that. And especially true when there's a time limit. But here's the thing. I can't fault them too much because at the end of the day, this time limit didn't affect anything. No one even gave an inkling that the time limit hurt them. And maybe that's why people were, they were resting in between obstacles like this was, a city's finals course or something. It's because they knew that the time was ridiculous. Like not once did we hear the 10-second warning timer go off. So I can't really fault people too much, despite how frustrated I was getting at people with the way they were acting in between obstacles. Because at the end of the day, it didn't play a factor at all. Like none of it did. But I mean, I think this episode really represents the many issues I have with A&W. Just put into one. The sins of A&W, the things that bug me when it's not on its best behavior. And I think I'm going to list them all off. Probably. But let's get into the actual show. So I will say this. The opening is actually good. I think most of the openings for A&W are not that great. But this one was good. I like this one. The course itself, 4 minutes. So, sin number 1, the giant ring swing is the first obstacle. Giant ring swing is a terrible first obstacle for stage 2 because, I'll tell you why, it is an obstacle that you can get hung up on and waste a lot of time. And here's the thing, when there's a time limit, if it is perfectly clear that you are not going to clear a course, it doesn't matter how far you go. When it comes to Ninja Warrior, it's a binary situation. Either you clear or you don't. Either you pass or you fail. The only thing that I would care about in terms of how far someone goes is if they're on my A&W fantasy team. But at the end of the day, if someone wastes so much time on the giant ring swing, which is perfectly possible to do, and happened in this episode, you can waste so much time that it's impossible to clear the course. And that's why I don't like it as the first obstacle of stage 2. You know what would be a good first obstacle of stage 2? I know I'm not the only one who thought this, but there's this obstacle in stage 1 called the Big Dipper. Sorry, it's called the Double Dipper. I keep getting that mixed up. The obstacle called the Double Dipper. Imagine if stage 2 started with that obstacle. It's fast, it's failable, and it's exciting. That's the other thing. I've always thought the ring swing, whether it's the giant version or the normal version, I've always thought it's a boring obstacle. And yeah. All right. Number 2 on stage 2 is the crisscross salmon ladder. So basically, they've abandoned the ability to go down on the salmon ladder. And instead, it's 2 rungs. So you start on a rung, you go 2 rungs up, you swap to the other side. There's like 3 more rungs up. There's 4 total. And then you swap over again. You go up a little bit more. So basically, they took the double salmon ladder and combined it with the cross salmon ladder, because the cross salmon ladder was so great on Sasuke. It wasn't boring at all. They feel the need to like make the salmon ladder harder because I imagine because the salmon ladder is in every city's finals course. That's the reason why. I don't like, honestly, like you just need a normal salmon. Just make a tall salmon ladder. That's all you really need. It's the salmon ladder, Maybe make it a double salmon ladder, but it doesn't need more than that. You don't need more than that. Then there's the Wave Runner, which is fine. It was fine this time around. I don't know if anything different was done to it. I think the platform was made better so that no one can like do that skip thing that Flip did last year. Then is a new obstacle called the Swing Surfer. Now, the amazing thing about the Swing Surfer is that I keep forgetting that's the actual name of the obstacle. I keep forgetting the swing parts, like surfer or something. So basically what it is that it's a platform. It sticks out. So you're on this platform. The Swing Surfer is like this. There's a little platform, a little bitty platform on the side, kind of like this right here. And so you swing, you land on it, and you swing to the other side, and then you grab a rope. But like the wall of the rope, the wall where the rope is, you don't climb up the wall. You got like these like cylinders that are on the wall that you climb up like a giant ladder. I don't know, because in the past when I've said like A&W likes overcomplicating things, I don't necessarily mean like obstacles that they make are overly complicated. What I mean is they like to add stuff to simple ideas to complicate them more that don't need to be complicated. And so when I see like, they turned the wall into like a ladder with cylinders, it's like they added extra complexities to it. The weird thing is that the Swing Surfer is the most stage 2 obstacle of the entire second stage. And yeah, it's fine. I think it only took out 2 people, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it's fine. That spot though, it's so weird. That's a weird spot for them. And then it's Wingnut Alley. So yeah. So the Wingnut's a great obstacle. It's one of the best obstacles this season, one of the best new obstacles. Wingnut Alley is not good. So going back to that Eisman live stream, he said that he made a comment that the producers didn't think, along with the course designers and I guess himself, he's like, we didn't think Wingnut Alley were going to take out that many people. And I just sort of like listened to him say this and think to myself, did you like look at the obstacle at all? Because like you're asking these people to do 11-foot laches and change their body part of the way. And you didn't think that maybe there'd be incidents where people would overcompensate or maybe potentially hurt themselves because you're asking them to do these ridiculous long laches with these like awkward angles and stuff. Not to mention, you got a landing pad that's really small and kind of awkward to land on, as evidenced by a few people. It never occurred to you that like maybe this obstacle is difficult. It's amazing how the A&W course designers were able to take a really good obstacle and then make it worse. But basically what it is that, hey, guess what? You start on a trampoline, because A&W loves their trampolines. You trampoline to a wingnut. You gotta do like 11-foot lache, a normal wingnut lache, but supersized. And then you do another lache, but it's at a 90-degree angle, so you gotta change midair. And then you gotta change it midair again to a 4th one. You're gonna land on a platform, but the platform it's kind of on the smaller side. So you have to, I don't know, I guess be more accurate. But there's something about the wingnuts. You can kind of see it. There was a little jankiness to it. Yeah, because like let's say like this is the wingnut. You hit it, and there was like it's like a weird tilting to it. So yeah. So first is Ian Dory. He didn't get a promo, but he ended up failing the Swing Surfer. So actually, already we're off to a good start. They showed him fine. I don't know if I would. Actually, you know what? This is actually another sin of A&W because they're starting with Ian Dory. They sin number 2, I believe. Changing up. Actually, no, I'm not going to name the sins. Wingnut Alley was a sin. This is another sin right here. Not starting with Nick. Because Nick Hansen. Nick Hansen had the slowest time. He should have. He was the one who actually ran first, as per the A&W rules. So another sin of A&W that I have frustration with is showing runs out of order to fit whatever narrative they want to fit. And as a result, you always know first person to run is never going to clear. There's no doubt in my mind that the first person who runs it fails, because that's always been the case. At least when I'm watching something like Sasuke or Konoichi, there's always a chance number one will pass, but it's never, But with A&W, it's guaranteed they're going to fail. All right, next up was Lampicus, and they gave us a little recap of his wife and him on stage 1 and how great it was. So this is another sin of A&W, which is exploiting disease. I said my piece already, like, if Lance and his wife are honestly comfortable with it and they weren't pressured by A&W or anything like that, more power to them. I still find the segment unnecessary and in some ways uncomfortable to watch for various reasons, some that I will personally not get into. But this brings up another issue I have with this episode itself. We don't need any of these fluff pieces, really. Especially since we only had 10 runs. 26 fast forwards. You could have shown another run. You probably could have. You could have fit something in. You know what? You could have fit more runs in if you made the short course faster. I'm just saying. Anyway, he ended up failing Wingnut Alley early on. Then they come back commercial. They interview Alyssa Beard. Then they do a fast forward Tyler Yamauchi. He did the salmon ladder fast, but he failed Wingnut Alley. All right. I gotta hold on. I want to make sure I'm hydrated for this next part. Next up is Brent Stephenson. So here's another sin of A&W. Overly long profile pieces about stuff that has nothing to do with anything. And another sin. Overuse of Casey Catanzaro. So Brent Stephenson's promo is that his dog died. Now, and it was also Casey's dog. So Casey is in this promo a lot. It's a long promo. It's a stupidly long promo. And it features Casey a lot too. They're talking about Mr. Mowgli, and they're acting like this is like a recurring character that we've seen all the time. They showed footage of the dog on the sidelines from a previous season. Here's the thing. I have no recollection of this dog. And I'm sure he meant a lot to Casey and Brent. They had a picture of the dog and they're raising awareness for charity for animal shelters. That's all fine. But again, we have all of these runs we could be getting to. I'm just watching this promo just going, come on, we gotta go. Come on. Time's wasting. And so, yeah, I'm sorry. And then he failed he got hung up on the giant ring swing. He was going pretty slow, actually, and then he failed the wave runner. But it's just, he lost his grip on the first board, but it's just, it. And then they actually had rest in peace, Mr. Mowgli, and they gave something to 2017. It felt like a sitcom that was giving a eulogy for a background extra, Nick Kostreski, fast forward, he failed the Wave Runner. Eric Middleton failed the Wave Runner. Hunter Gerard failed the Wingnut Alley. Really would have liked to seen some of these runs. And then Ryan Stratus, fast forward. Unfortunately, he got caught up and failed the giant ring swing. Tyler Gillette failed the Wave Runner. And Travis Rosen failed the Wingnut Alley. After talking about how he got redemption, made backstage 2 and all that, would have been nice to see his run, but I guess we can't see it. There was Jamie Ron. He was being super serious. Hey, look, another disease thing that they exploited, talking about his brain cyst and anxiety. I've heard of this story before. I don't know if A&W has featured it before. I remember seeing this story before in, like, I think one of his application videos. And, you know, I mean, him meeting his girlfriend through Ninja Warrior. I'm just going to say it again. Like, hey, you know, continue. You know, we have other runs you could have showed. So here's the thing. He failed winning an alley. He was on the fourth wing nut. He failed the dismounted platform. Akbar, you know, bless his heart. He did this whole thing. I was like, oh, look, he should have launched one swing earlier because he was higher. But, like, here's the thing. You watch the replay, the height of his jump had nothing to do with it. He made the distance. The problem is he veered to the right of the platform. I don't know why the platform's so small, quite frankly. He fell to the side. And yeah, and honestly, that last wing nut, I keep looking at it, it looked a little janky. You know, it looked like it had like a weird angle to it, and I don't know, I don't think it swung perfectly straight, so there was something weird about it. But yeah, you end up failing. That sucks. Especially since he was on my team. Fast forward, Nick Hansen failed the Salmon Ladder. Sean Darling-Hammond failed the Wingnut Alley. John Alexis Jr. failed Wingnut Alley. And then we had some divine intervention in the form of Sean Bryan, which I just want to mention. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is only the 5th. Holy crap, I just realized this is only the 5th run that they showed at this point. Oh my god. Oh my god, they really did skip a lot of people. Yeah, okay, so Sean Bryan, you know, man of God. He did the Salmon Ladder in 3 moves, so he jumped, went up, then jumped again, and that's it. And it's like, wow, he's really good at the Salmon Ladder. Before he did the Swing Surfer, he did a little prayer. He was like, you know, give him the strength, I imagine. And then he had cleared Wingnut Alley. He had if I remember correctly, he's the one who kind of like got wedged in between like the landing platform and like some of the rigging. Bit of an awkward landing. He had 41 seconds left at the wall flip. Oh my god! Oh my god! I completely forgot to mention this. The wall flip. All right, okay. Wall flip's a bad obstacle. I'm just going to say this right now. Wall flip is a bad obstacle, especially on this course. The problem with having an obstacle like the wall flip there's a few problems. First off, it doesn't look like an obstacle. It looks like I can just run across it. It's not an actual thing blocking my path. Number 2, when the time limit is so high, in this case 4 minutes, you run into a situation in which, you know, you can do the obstacle quite easily without being under pressure and have time to do it. The problem with, you know, the wall flip is supposed to be an obstacle that you do under duress, under, you know, the stress of the time limit. The time limit was so lax that, you know, all the people who cleared, they had plenty of time to do it. Look at Sean Bryan, for example. He had 41 seconds left when he, you know, cleared the Wingnut Alley. And he cleared the course with 15 seconds left. And it's like, yeah, of course he cleared the wall flip. You know, he had plenty of time to do it. So yeah, he was the first one to clear, and that was cool. Sean Bryan had this has been a real breakout season for him. But here's the other problem with the wall flip. Here's the other problem with the wall flip. In that, okay, I don't know if this is a full problem, but I would love to know if the weights that Eisman listed for the walls are the actual weights of the entire wall, or if it's just the weight that the contestants lift. Because here's for those who don't understand, here's the situation. The wall flip works like this. It rotates, you flip it over like this. It looks dumb, but that's how it works. Because of its design, you know, Eisman says that, you know, they're 100, 125, 150 pounds. But because of its design, when you lift a wall, it only feels like you're lifting half the weight of the wall. And that's why I won't need to know the distinction of whether or not the weight that he lists regards the weight of the entire wall or the weight of that that the ninjas have to exert. Because if the weights that he listed are the actual weights of the entire walls, that means instead of lifting 100, 125, and 150 pounds, they're actually lifting 50, 62.5, and 75 pounds, which is a lot less than the weights listed. So that's something that I like to know, but that's just a problem I have with the obstacle. There's a bunch of problems. All right, fast forward. Mike Bernardo failed the swing surfer. Drew Knapp failed Wingnut Alley. Abel Gonzalez failed Wingnut Alley. Before we continue, I just want to quickly mention the 2 YouTube runs that they put up ahead of time. JJ Woods and Kevin Bull both failed. Actually, they had very similar runs. They both got a little hung up on Giant Ring Swing, and then they failed Wingnut Alley, going from the first to the second, actually. Kevin Bull actually hit both his chest and his chin on the Wingnut Alley, so hey, maybe that obstacle not that safe when you have to do that big of a lache. Just saying. But yeah, I didn't watch them ahead of time because fear of spoilers, because it's A&W. Apparently, at the end of last week's episode, in the preview for the season finale, they actually showed at least one of the people who were on stage 3, which is absurd. Because, spoilers for the rest of this video, only 3 people made it to stage 3. So that's so dumb. The people who do the previews for A&W, I don't know who approves them, but they're so dumb. I'm just gonna say it now. They're dumb. They're dummies. The whole putting Jesse Graff's run in full from USA versus the World was so dumb. Adam Rail. We didn't get a promo from him, which is actually good. He actually slid on landing on the giant ring swing. He almost, I almost thought he was going to fall off. He then failed the Wingnut Alley. Unfortunately, he kind of messed up the final jump, slipped off the final wingnut and failed. Fast forward, Josh Salinas failed Wingnut Alley, Joey Avila failed Wingnut Alley, Andrew Lowe's failed Wingnut Alley, and Brian Arnold failed Wingnut Alley. Oh, by the way, they actually acknowledged Andrew Lowe's because he got completely skipped in stage 1. So yeah, that was a surprise. But yeah, Brian Arnold got fast forward again. That kind of sucks. Najee Richardson, hey, look, sin of A&W, exploiting death in the family. So yeah, they talked about his great-grandmother. I don't know. Maybe it would have more effect on me if this wasn't a type of a trope of A&W, so to speak. That Captain Tornado segment from SNL is one of the worst things that happened to A&W. Because going back to Mr. Mowgli thing, that profile piece bordered on self-parody, honestly. Because the whole Captain Tornado thing, it just perfectly encapsulates the big problem with A&W. Anyway, Najee Richardson had over 30 seconds left at the wall lift when he got there, and he cleared. He cleared with more time than Sean Bryan did. And then Akbar gave him the Palm Wonderful Run of the Night, which, oh boy, that made me nervous for the rest of the episode. We'll get to that. Josh Levin got fast forward. He failed the Wave Runner. Josh Levin actually posted to Instagram and explained what happened. Basically, on the propeller bar in stage 1, he he had a big save on the propeller bar. He banged his arm and bruised it. And he explained that originally, he didn't think much of it, for the rest of the day. Day 2, he gets to stage 2. He starts doing the course, and his arm starts swelling because it's bruised and it's he's exerting effort. And he explained that when he was on the Wave Runner, he completely lost the ability to grip in that one arm, and that's why he just fell on the Wave Runner. And that sucks when an injury takes you out like that. I felt bad for him. So, hey, Sin of A&W, showing runs midway. They showed Daniel go ring midway, starting at the Swing Surfer, which is, the way they've been treating Daniel Gill this season is so bizarre. So bizarre. But then he failed the Wingnut Alley, what did it say? Wipe out on right. Huh. I don't know why I wrote that. Anyway, so next up was Alyssa Beard, the only woman left on the course. So they did like this. Okay, so they did this like weird music video. I've watched it a few times. Not because I liked it, because I'm trying to figure out what I think of it. And it is like, here's the thing. I'm sure her students had a fun time. Half the time watching the video, I kept thinking to myself, when did they find time to film this? Did they like do a thing where they brought students in during August? I don't know. I guess it depends on what her school schedule is. Like from where I'm from, school doesn't start until after Labor Day. So I don't know if her school year starts in August. If it does, they got more time to do that sort of thing. But like my school year, they only would have had a few weeks to do that. So I mean, they still could have, even if they did start after Labor Day. But I don't know. The video itself wasn't that special. It was very basic. It was mostly just, it was the kids walking down a hallway with flashlights. Alyssa Beard does some flips, and then they play in the playground with some powdered paint. Yay! The whole time, honestly, the whole time I'm just thinking to myself, you could have like shown a run or two. Be nice if you showed runs this episode, please. Anyway, she ended up failing the salmon ladder, unfortunately. But so, I mean, she had a good season overall. She cleared regional qualifier, made it to Vegas, cleared stage 1. Good year. This was easily her best year of her 2 years. And she won National Ninja League, and she won Team Ninja Warrior. So she's had a good year. Found love. That's another one thing that she did this past year. So good for her. Good for you, Alyssa Beard. You did well. Hope you do better next year. All right, next, then, more fast forwards. David Kavanaugh failed the Wave Runner. Grant Clinton failed Wingnut Alley. Carson Voiles failed Wingnut Alley. Flip Rodriguez failed Wingnut Alley. Time was kind of showing short. I don't know. Something. Then was Joe Morosky. So they had a profile talking about how he failed stage 2 last year because Joe in A&W, at least NBC A&W, Joe's actually got a pretty good record. When you look at things, he's made it to stage 3 quite a few times. I think does he have the record for most stage 3 appearances these days? He might. I think he actually does. Trying to think. 6, 7, and 9. I know he definitely made it to stage 3. How many times did Brent make it? Brent he made in 4. I know he made in 2. Did he make it any other year? I don't think he did. Drew made it in 7 and 8. So yeah, I think Joe might have the record for most stage 3 appearances in A&W history. Cause David's 2. So yeah, I think he might have broke the record with this one. Yeah, he cleared. But I just wanted to see if it says. He still had 25 seconds left when he cleared. The time limit is a joke. This course is basically just comes down to one obstacle. It's the Wingnut Alley. Again, 24 of 41 people failed Wingnut Alley. It's actually, that's another sin of A&W, and that is like these ninja killers that take out large percentages of a course. It just got frustrating because I don't think Wingnut Alley is very good. I don't know, man. But yeah, Joe looked good. That's what he does. He generally looks good when he does stuff. God More fast forwards, the final fast forwards. Nicholas Coolidge failed the salmon ladder. David Campbell failed the wingnut alley, and Thomas Stillings failed the wingnut alley. Drew Jessel, final run in stage 2, which I believe actually was true because he was the fastest in stage 1. His profile was how everyone expects him to win. And with a profile like that, you know it's going. He's going either one or two ways. Either he's failing or he's about to win. No, he failed. Okay. So he overshot. He overshot like a lot of the wingnut jumps, and from the transition in the third and fourth, he like bang. He essentially got his arm around the wingnut, and he ended up giving himself a Charlie horse, and he temporarily lost feeling in his arm, and he ended up failing. And that's gotta suck. And so this got pointed out. Yeah, it's a good point. Christine almost seemed to like kind of poke at him a bit, try to get some emotion out of him. It's like, oh, I know this meant a lot to you. I never liked Christine Leahy, to be honest. I was never a big fan of her. Was a big fan of Jen Brown either. Obviously I like Allison Haslip, but was it Angela something? The one who was after Allison. I liked her. She was fine. Why did they get rid of her? Angela's son. Yeah, bring her back. Or Allison. Is Allison doing anything? Because BattleBots got canceled. Just bring Allison back. I love Allison. So yeah. So there you go. 3 people failed the second. 3 people cleared stage 2 in the form of Joe Morosky in first place, Najee Richardson in second place, and Sean Bryant in third place. So, what did you think of stage 2? Let me know. Interesting to hear what you guys say. All right, let's take a quick intermission. All right, intermission over. So now let's get on to stage 3. Stage 3, there are 8 obstacles, no time limit, just as it's supposed to be. We start with the floating boards, which is weird. I like the floating boards. Kind of weird as the first obstacle, but whatever. Then is the key lock hang. I actually really like the key lock hang. I like it. It's like a pegboard. You move onto your side. Then you got the nail clipper. Oh, great. Nail clipper is a dumb obstacle still. There's only 3 cylinders instead of 4, and I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure they're closer together. They look a lot easier, and maybe it's just because they're earlier in the course. Then is the ultimate cliffhanger. So on the show, Eisman said that the cliffhanger ledge is 2 inches thick, and if you look at the actual side profile, you can see that the ledges are like rounded. Also, they're not like flat. Fun fact, 2 inches translates to 5.08 centimeters. The cliffhanger ledge in Sasuke is 3 centimeters, and the cliffhanger ledge in Konoichi is 4 centimeters. So yes, A&W ledges are larger than Sasuke and Konoichi. Although obviously the A&W cliffhanger is longer than Konoichi. But, I would easily say the Sasuke one is harder by far. Also, the ultimate cliffhanger is so ugly. It's such an ugly obstacle. I actually think it'd be an improvement if they went back and they used the Sasuke 17 design. Basically, you just go across, you go up, and then you go down. But you use 3 centimeter ledges. Smaller ledges. You can explain to the audience that you dramatically decrease the size of the ledges, but, just change things up a bit. Then is the curved body prop, which, it's fine. It's a fine obstacle. Looks hard. Then is a new obstacle called the peg cloud. So what it is that there are these pillars. They have one hole on it. So let's say I'm doing the obstacle, and I'm at the start of the obstacle, and I'm looking towards the end. So on the far side of these pegs are the holes where the pegs go into. Of these posts are the holes that go to. On the sides facing me, there's these lips where my feet can go to stay up. So I guess slight spoilers for this video. Joe Morowski's the only one who made it this far. So the way he did it was he essentially went backwards. So he's doing it like this, which is interesting. Is that I watched Creston Course. The test designer essentially did it the other way. So Joe did it so that like his head is closer to the end, but the tester did it where his head is closer to the beginning of the obstacle. And I'm not sure which way is actually better. Joe looked kind of awkward, and like just personally, just kind of observing him. And the tester looked, I don't know, I felt like the tester looked more comfortable, but then again, he probably didn't have to do, 5 obstacles ahead of time. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard. It's hard to judge an obstacle when you only see one person do it. It's weird, especially when the key hang lock is already there, because the key hang lock is like a vertical pegboard. So you got 2 pegboards essentially. And then there's the time bomb. So you got these rings with like the little kettlebells in them. They're hanging from these hooks, and you got to go. And the hooks they actually do rotate, and you gotta go and transfer from hook to hook. I've given great thought my opinion on this obstacle. I don't like them. Basically, I think the biggest reason is that it seems like a big portion of the obstacle is being able to swing out and like get the perfect hook on that. And the problem is that if you miss, you essentially got like a big backswing. Then you got to hold yourself up by one arm. I don't like that. That feels a bit too much kind of luck base. Kind of like, you got to get the perfect shot. For the life of me, I just want to know, how is it that the vertical limit still isn't in A&W? Like, that obstacle is so hard. I've seen people do it, both on Sasuke and in all the ninja gyms. It's a hard obstacle to do. Why don't they have that in there? I don't get it. Be a better obstacle than the time bomb. I don't like the time bomb. I've decided I don't like the time bomb as an obstacle. Didn't get to see much of it, but I don't like it. Final obstacle is the flying bar. It's a fine final obstacle. I still maintain I think the pipe slider is a better final obstacle simply because of the dismount, but flying bar is fine. All right, so let's get through. So I'm watching stage 3, and it's kind of weird because it's almost like the stage 3 is a bit of an afterthought on the show. It's almost kind of like, oh crap, we only got like 20 minutes left. We got to get through this. Go, 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 go. Sort of thing. But like, I really liked watching this. I really liked watching stage 3, even though I would say personally, I don't think stage 3 was as good as last year's stage 3, in my personal opinion, in terms of course design. But I was trying to think, like, why do I like this so much? The answer is easy. There was no fluff pieces. It was just 3 people running the course. And you had an instance where Sean Bryan ran, and then Najee ran right after him. There was no commercial break. There was no fluff piece. There was barely even any, announcers talking. I am perfectly fine with an entire episode of A&W that's just people running the course with commentary. You don't need to add all the fluff pieces. You don't need to add the sob stories. Just tell me a little bit about them. Give me a reason why they're awesome. Not why I should root for them, not why I should feel sorry for them. I want these ninjas to look like they're awesome. And that's the thing. They all look awesome at this point. And just the fact they made it this far, it makes them awesome. And I want to see them do well. So, first up was Sean Bryan. He was good on the floating boards, he was good on the key lock hang, he was good on the nail clipper. He was looking good overall. Then he's getting to the ultimate cliffhanger. So, he's going up, first part, second part. He's on the straightaway, the first 2 angle parts straightaway. Then comes the big reach, the first big reach. He goes to make the first big reach. He misses, he falls. So, he's out. Actually, and fun fact, this is the only time the entire season where all the runs were shown in the actual order they were filmed. And that's probably largely due to the fact that there's only 3 people. But yeah, fun fact about that. Najee Richardson was next. So he looked good on the floating boards, and then on the key lock hang, he almost fails the obstacle. He jumps off the platform. He dismounts the obstacle, lands on the platform, but like slips and falls backwards. But he catches himself, and it's a good thing that obstacle is like the platform is in the air, because if it was lower to the ground, his feet would have went into the water. But yeah, he saved himself, gave everyone a heart attack. It's like, come on, man. Could you imagine making to stage 3 and failing like in that fashion because you slept off the platform? But yeah, he did the nail clipper really quickly. This version of the nail clipper, it's got to be easier. They were doing it like it was nothing. And then ultimate cliffhanger time. So up the first incline, up second incline, straight away, makes the big reach. Gets to the first jump that has a foothold on it, which is another reason I'm not a big fan of this version of the cliffhanger. He does the first big transfer. So now he's on the part where you gotta, essentially it's a horizontal gap. He does the horizontal gap, falls. That's which is the same location that Daniel Gill fell last year. So he's out. Which means we're now down to one dude. And that is Joe Morosky. He has the most stage 3 experience. He's perfect on the floating boards, perfect on the key lock hang. After landing, he points to Najee, but like, hey, look, I didn't slip. Of course, he was perfect on the nail clipper. He was only one of 2 people who actually cleared the nail clipper in Cleveland. And hey, he got revenge on the ultimate cliffhanger, the obstacle that took him out in A&W 7 which was last time he was in stage 3. I didn't even write about then he was fine on the body prop. So, started doing the peg cloud. I mentioned the way that he did the peg cloud. A lot of hanging. He did a lot of like, that whole thing where like your leg is over your arm, sort of thing. And then on to the time bomb. Essentially, basically what happened was relatively early in the obstacle. I think it was during the first half. He went for one of the time bombs. He didn't grab it by the actual ball because basically they're like kettlebells. Like mini kettlebells. You're either by the ring portion, which is apparently allowed. He went for the hook, missed it, swung backwards, couldn't hold on, and he fell. And that's it. So once again, A&W does not have to pay out $1 million because all 100 people who qualified for Vegas failed to beat the course. And I mean, technically, I guess technically it was like 95. Because 5 of them had to drop out. Still not sure if they were alternates. I was told there was at least 1, but everyone else is kind of mystery. But yeah, everyone failed. Mountain wins again. Which is, yeah. All right. So even though the show ended at this point, I just wanted to talk about the final stage because we know what it is, and I think a few things need to be said. So. The final stage is actually what I'll say is, if you go back to A&W 7, we had 2 people clear the final stage, and if you go back to when Jeff Britton was last on the Armchair Ninja podcast, he told a story about how when he was talking to the producer and Jeff was like, "So does this mean the final stage is going to be spider climb and rope climb?" And the producer was like, "Oh, that's what everyone wants us to think." And so you're thinking, oh, there's going to be a special final stage. They're coming up with something crazy. And last year, I said my biggest disappointment for A&W 8 was the fact that for the final stage, they did nothing. They did nothing different. It was a rope climb. They added 5 feet. It used to be 75 feet, now it's 80 feet. And whoop-de-doo! It's a slightly tall rope climb. That who cares? It's still a rope climb. And this year, according to Crushing the Course, it's still a rope climb. I don't know why they insist on still doing a rope climb. To just compare to Sasuke one more time, every time someone beats the final stage changes. It might be a slightly harder version of a previous version of the final stage, but the final stage changes. That's the point. And so the fact that the final stage is still just a rope climb is absurd. Especially because this is A&W, the show that takes obstacles and tries to make them more complicated. And yet, at the end of the day, after all the extra complicated, the extra hard, the extra obstacles that they make, their final stage is a rope climb. Yeah. I don't know what to say. If I find out that the reason that it's still just a rope climb is because of USA versus the World and the All-Star special, I'm going to be very annoyed. Especially if it's USA versus the World, because USA versus the World is boring. Maybe it'll change, because for those of you who don't know, USA versus the World is now going to be 4 teams of 4 this time around. So maybe the format changed. Maybe they're going to make it more exciting to watch. Maybe. I don't know. So yeah. Is there anything else to say? No. No, that's everything. So I guess I'll stop. So what'd you think of Stage 3? Let me know, along with your thoughts on Stage 2. I really like Stage 3. Stage 2 was just frustrating. I think that's just the best way to put it in the end. It was just frustrating. This season has been mostly good. I thought Stage 1 was good. I thought it was fun to watch. There were some episodes this season I really enjoyed. I would say the best seasons, in my personal opinion, have been Cleveland qualifiers, LA finals, and both Stage 1 episodes. Those were the best ones, in my opinion. Kansas City finals were fun. There were some other fun ones, but I think the fact that, like, for the second year in a row, it ended in a way that I found to be incredibly disappointing, despite the fact that I like Stage 3. It's not good. And it's not because, only three people of 41 made it to Stage 3. Like, I want to see more of Stage 3. I want to see more people take on the course. That's the problem. Honestly, that's one of the big problems. It's you got to find a balance. A&W's got to find a balance. I don't think they can find a balance, quite frankly. I don't know. I don't know what else to say right now. Let me know what you think. This is the end. We're done. A&W's over. So I guess I just wanted to say thank you. Just want to say thank you to everyone who's been watching these past 15 recap videos. We've reached the end. And I am personally surprised that I was actually able to do this. Because I've not had the best track record of doing things on time. But somehow I managed to do it. I can't believe it myself. But, yeah. For those of you who maybe have discovered me through these videos or subscribed through these videos, I hope you stick around. I got stuff that gets uploaded year-round. I have plans for the future. Been doing this for almost 10 years now, and I think I want to make this the best year. I want to make these good years. I want to go harder into what I got and what I'm doing. So look forward to more. But yeah, just wanted to say thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for making this what I feel like is a successful venture. I'm happy with the results, I would say. And that's it. guess I'm just going to close up shop.